Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. One of the most hype and exciting things about this upcoming weekend for the LEC, week 2 of the LEC 2022 spring split, is a long-awaited matchup between Perkz, Team Vitality, and Perkz' old team in G2. Now, this is a really big storyline going into 2021 as well. You know, everyone was talking about how we hoped Cloud9 would get to match up against G2 somewhere, somehow. G2 is expected to be one of the best teams in the world. They were expected to be at MSI, to be at Worlds. Cloud9 was also expected to be pretty good, but there's a little bit more doubt in people's minds. But obviously, Cloud9 and Perkz held up their end of the bargain. They made it to MSI. They made it to Worlds. They got out of groups at Worlds, and G2 was at neither of those tournaments. So we didn't get a Perkz against G2 matchup, but now here we are in 2022. Obviously, with Perkz returning to the LEC, we're going to get to see Perkz against G2 pretty frequently, pretty regularly, but this very first matchup, this first time, is going to be a spicy one. It's going to be so exciting, and obviously there's some trash talk leading up to it, so definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out the merch. First link in the description below for new merch we dropped a couple weeks ago. YouTube was actually trolling me. A couple of people actually let me know that the merch link was broken, and it was weird because it wasn't broken on my end, but when I opened up an incognito tab, tried clicking on it, yeah, it was broken. So if you've tried to buy merch over the last couple of weeks and it hasn't worked, that link is now updated. That link actually works now. So hey, maybe give us a second chance. Maybe check it out again. I was trolling, YouTube was trolling, whatever, but it's all good now. With that being said, let's get right into this. So we actually have this tweet from the LEC. Old friends meet again. This week's Ultra Gear Gaming match of the week, Team Vitality against G2. Now, at the time that I'm recording this video, it's before any games have been played this weekend. So right now, Vitality is 0-3, G2 is 2-1. Yes, G2 had a 2-1 start. They played two kind of weaker teams. They played Mad Lions and lost. Vitality's 0-3, so neither of these teams looks super strong at this point. Obviously, Vitality is a new super team. They're trying to shake off the rust. They're trying to gain synergy. G2, we know, was going through a whole COVID battle last week, so maybe both these teams will take some big strides this week. Maybe they'll start to, really set themselves apart as a top team. But at least to me, neither team really stood out to me in a great way in week 1. So maybe that ruins a little bit of hype of this matchup. But again, this is Perkz against G2. This is a new chapter of Perkz against Caps. This is Perkz against Yankos. This is Perkz against Carlos. This is Super Team against G2. Viewership's going to be crazy. Hype's going to be crazy. Everyone's going to be tuning in. This will be one of the most viewed matches of the entire regular season. The only thing that I can think of that could be better is G2 Fnatic. I'm not sure if Fnatic has more fans or if Perkz has more fans. Perkz plus Vitality has more fans than just Fnatic. I don't know. This is going to be a banger, though. So let's see. I think the LEC posted a really nice piece of hype content. Not a shocker. LEC doing a great job posting content, hyping up their games, hyping up their matches, hyping up their players. So let's see what some of the players and the teams have to say coming into this matchup.
Perkz against his old team, a match that we've been waiting for since the beginning of 2020. The only thing hotter than the banter between former teammates is the burning desire to prove who's better.
Obviously can't wait to play against Yankos and Caps. It will be just like fun smashing the org to the ground. When you think about the events that occurred, it's like completely f***ed up timeline.
So, obviously, very funny. He says he just wants to smash him into the ground. He says when you think about how everything happened, it was really funny. Talking about, how he's bounced around a little bit and ended up back in Europe, but also probably taking some shots at the past season that G2 has had, which, is very easy to look back on and take some shots at.
Playing against Perkz was always the most fun in Europe. Like, by far, the games I was looking forward to the most. I'm hoping it will be the same kind of feelings when I go up against them.
We have to remember what Caps used to do to Perkz when they were playing opposite teams, right?
I'm going to smash him so hard that he's going to think that it's an international tournament.
Oh, Caps! He just solo killed Perkz!
Caps flashes forward! Turns it onto Perkz! First blood to Baby Baker!
So this is the best and most exciting mid lane matchup in LEC history. These guys have matched up so many times in big regular season games, in big playoff games, and for the most part, like the clip showed, Caps, tends to get the best of Perkz in that 1v1 matchup. Now, Perkz has definitely had his moments. These guys definitely go back and forth. They're both great, amazing players. But Caps, has in his time in the LEC has been one of the best players in all the LEC. Now, what is interesting is Caps is coming off not exactly his best season in the world. Perkz is coming off not exactly his best season in the world, and so far in 2022 is actually the worst statistical performing mid laner in the league. Caps hasn't looked that amazing in the first 3 games of the season either. Again, I don't think that takes anything away from this matchup. However, these guys are still massive brands. They play for very, very popular teams. People still expect them to be able to bounce back really, really strong in 2022, but this is a different Perkz versus Caps matchup than we've probably ever seen. But hey, somebody's going to win. There might be solo kills. It sucks that we're in kind of a control mage meta where mid lane's not that explosive with a ton of kills and a ton of action. So you expect for the most part these guys are going to kind of farm it out, and that we'll see big plays happening in team fights. Still fun, still exciting, but I'm not expecting an Akali Silas matchup or anything crazy that 2 melees just duking it out. I'm expecting Victor Corky or something like that, but hey, we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll give us something good. Maybe we'll get we could definitely get a LeBlanc against something, maybe a LeBlanc into Akshan or something interesting like that. Who knows what exactly we'll see. But yeah, not the typical Caps versus Perkz matchup, but still very, very interesting, very, very entertaining.
It's gonna be just really fun facing Caps. But to be honest, it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that I'm facing G2, the club that I made, by the way. G2 not going to Worlds, probably the funniest thing that happened in 2021.
G2 are going home.
So Perkz taking some big shots there, saying this is the team that he made, which, to some extent it's hard to refute that. Yes, obviously, pre the G2 with Caps on it, yeah, Perkz had built them up entirely, but they really took it to the next level when they had, that 2019 G2 team. So, yeah, to an extent, he definitely built them, but also, hey, the guys that are there, Jankos, he played a big part in this. Caps, he played a big part in this, but also the fact that, he's friends with G2. He says him and Carlos get along. He says him and G2 get along. He says him and Caps and Jankos all get along. And to say that G2 not making it to Worlds in 2021 was the funniest thing all year long, that's kind of savage.
Fnatic make it through to Worlds.
I was feeling definitely a bit sad because I have a lot of connection with the players. But then again, it's they did it themselves, So I understand why they're going with the rookie squad now, so they don't have the disgrace anymore.
If he wouldn't make Worlds, he would probably also be sad for him, but also laugh in a way because, he left the team and then he didn't find success. The point is, and the point stands, that he's back in Europe and we'll teach him a lesson.
I don't think they're gonna be ever again as dominant as they were.
You can cope and say they want to win Worlds as much as you want, but this team ain't ever winning Worlds.
On paper.
That is so funny, and that is so hilarious because then Perkz there turns into every single Redditor, every single person on Twitter, and he's right, and it's hilarious. But yes, the fact that Carlos put together this roster, hey, they're rebuilding, it's an exciting roster for the future, it's a cheaper roster, we get why G2's doing it. They're not a team to shell out a bunch of money, they're trying to make money and win. But the fact that Carlos is still saying our goal is to win Worlds this year is ridiculous, is laughable, and Perkz is taking shots at that. Hey, Carlos, your lineup this year, hey, whatever, they're great, they're awesome, you moved on from the players you didn't think were that good. You're not winning Worlds this year. That is a ridiculous statement. I love that Perkz said that. That is hilarious.
They look worse than they ever did, but the rosters on paper don't really mean as much as people think.
Vitality coming
That's
into
self-made, taking a shot at himself. He's like, yeah, rosters on paper don't really mean as much as they, might seem. And then Vitality starts 0-3. Come on, man. You can't say that.
Super Week on 0-2 as Fnatic will find their second win over EU's latest super team.
After having a weak start, Vitality is out with a point to prove by getting their first win of the LEC. Otherwise, they may fall into the same trap that we've seen many super teams fall into in the past.
It's all too easy. G2 came for the win. Have the damage to shut down the Aurelion.
And this should be a wipe here for G2 as they clean up XL in the bottom lane.
Brokenblade going over the wall anyway. He's not worried about the cooldown timers. He's just trying to kill everybody.
This, at its heart, is an old-fashioned grudge match, and utilizing the new players by their side is what will prove who comes out victorious.
It's gonna be for sure fun as that's all I know.
So So I love this. Awesome piece of content by the LEC. Love them getting the quotes from all the players. I would have loved to hear a quote from, Carlos about this whole situation. I think that would have been funny and maybe added to the video in a good way. But either way, I'm so hyped up. I'm so excited for this. I know a lot of other people are going to be as well. I'm definitely going to be tuning into this match, and it's going to be fun. Again, the fact that the LEC and G2 and Perkz and Vitality and all of these guys are able to get us this excited about a regular season spring split best of one is truly a testament to just how entertaining competitive League of Legends is, how good and popular and interesting these teams and players are, and how good of a job the LEC does of creating content and hyping it up as well. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know who you think's going to win. You got G2, Vitality. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope we catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.